Right, today's gentle workout is with a mini ball, but you don't have to have a mini ball. You can do all the exercises with just a slight amount of modification. So let's get started. I want to think about our posture to start with. So feet together, toes out, heels out. So you've got center of the hips, center of the knees, center of the ankles. Slightly roll the shoulders back and relax them down. Fingertips would be in line with the seam of your trousers. And lengthen the back of the neck and slightly retract the chin. Should be comfortable. And we're going to start with gentle arm floats. So we're just bringing the ball forward, change side, and coming down. But what I'm doing is I'm taking the ball slightly behind my back, but not very far. Naturally, the arms don't go very far back. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed down. Just wanting to get some gentle movement, warming up through the shoulders. Think about your posture. Are you sticking your bum out? Are you standing forward on your hips? If you are, try and correct that posture. I'm not going to go through that today. You can find that in some of my other videos. From there, we're going to change that movement. Bring the ball to the center, chest height, and we're just going to open out. Think of lengthening the arms away and gently squeezing the shoulder blades backwards. So again, getting some movement. The ball ideally should be shoulder height. If you've got issues with your shoulders, then please make it a little bit more comfortable. This really is more about getting some movement and warmth. Show me your armpits. Think of really lengthening those arms away. Again, if you don't have a ball, this really doesn't matter. Just quite nice to challenge our coordination. Got a bit of squidge in my ball so that I can hold it gently. So if you find you're dropping it, you might just want to put it aside for now. Okay, let's change that movement. So what I want to do next is bring the ball to the breastbone and a little bit of pressure into the ball from either side, elbows high, and I'm going to slightly bend my knees. So I'm trying to keep my back in neutral, a little bend in the knees to try and keep the pelvis as still as possible. And all we're going to do is rotate from the waist. Now I'm trying to keep my knees pointing forward. I don't have a lot of movement in my lower back at the moment. So be aware here that what we're trying to do is warm up through the waist, through the lower back area. You're trying to keep those knees forward. You might want to take the legs a little bit wider as well and think of pushing the knees outwards. And be aware that you're keeping that ball stationary. If you want to add a bit of arm activation, you can push into the ball. If that's uncomfortable on your wrist, absolutely fine to leave that out. And if you don't have a ball, you can just press the hands together. Okay, I'm going to change now to a lateral bend. So you're going to take the ball in the right hand, if you've got a ball, and push it into the leg. If you don't, you're just going to gently let that arm float. And I'm going to take the arm up and over by the ear and reach over. So if I come forward, you can just about see. So I'm not reaching forward, and I'm coming back to a cactus arm, pushing over. Try and stay looking forward to me rather than looking down towards the ball. I want you to be feeling the stretch behind the armpit here. So go at your own speed, coming back to center with a cactus arm. If that is too much for you, by all means, just make it a gentle lateral bend, side and back up, side and back up. Feet ideally here should be hip width apart, center of the hips, center of the knees, center of the ankles. Let's take that ball above the head, change sides, pushing the ball into the other side, or just having the hand resting against as we reach over. So remember, we want you to feel this behind the armpit, behind the back, in the side of the shoulder. I've got my palm facing forward. I'm coming to cactus arm, if that works. If that's too much for you, you can keep it low, either just bringing the elbow up and down. Think of as if you're between two panes of glass. So options here. If you can, reach over, back to cactus arm. Reaching over and back to cactus arm. Okay. Next exercise, I want you to bring the ball to chest height and hold the ball here if it's comfortable, and if you don't have a ball, that's absolutely fine too. And there's going to be optional arm movements, but that will be your choice. I want you to rise up as high as you comfortably can onto the balls of your feet, and we're going to drop alternating heel. So opposite heel, one heel is going down and I'm coming slowly up. Heel goes down, coming back up. So you should feel this in your calves. Now, you can just hold the ball. I'm on 3 mats here, the bottom one of which, the blue one, is very, very squidgy. So I'm really challenging myself here. If you would like to also challenge your coordination, you can add an arm float out and back in. I'm going out as I lift, in as I come back down, out as I lift, in as I come back down. So if you can make it that slow, it's great. If the coordination isn't there or the balance isn't there, you can of course make it a little bit faster. So you're going to go with what works for you. The slower you do it, the harder it is going to be. So you're going to challenge yourself, and absolutely fine to just hold the hands on the ball in front. And if you're wobbling, don't look at me, have a look at the ball instead if you're holding it stationary, if you're really struggling with your balance. Well done. So I'm going to challenge our balance again. I'm going to come across onto my blue mat so that I've only got 1 squidgy mat underneath me instead of 3. And we're going to challenge our balance. So I want you to keep the hips and pelvis as stable as possible. I'm going to stand on here initially so you can see what I'm doing. Ball, again, is something to look at and focus on once you get going. You're going to start by sliding the right foot slightly forward, pushing into the ball if you need to, and you're just going to lift the knee up and back down. Other side, trying to keep the hips as level as possible as you lift up and back down. As a challenge for me. So options. Whoa, my balance really isn't very good since my injury. I am working on it. So you can challenge yourself some more if you want by lifting the ball up in the hand and trying to keep those hips stable. Please do as I do, as I say, not as I do. As I said, my balance isn't very good at the moment. So really, I shouldn't be doing that version. I'm just giving you that option. The alternative, if your balance is really bad, which mine is today, is to just slide that foot slightly forward and back. Just coming onto the toe at the front, using that for balance. Find something stationary in front of you to look at. I'm focusing on the door in front of me. So lifting that knee up if you can, adding an arm float as well if you want to challenge your balance even more. So you always have the choice to do it at the level you wish today. So for our next exercise, I want to work the muscle in the side of the hip, or the front of the bottom really. So if you put your hands in your jeans pocket, it's where your index finger should be. That's where you should be feeling this. So first of all, put the ball somewhere comfortable. We're going to move it later for those that want to. I want to start with the feet close in together. So you're going to feel slightly out of balance. And then all we're going to do is, keeping the left foot down, is rock out and come back in. Now, the middle toe stays down. We're rocking. If you're struggling with this, you're probably making the step too large. I'd like you to have a quick look down, because what often happens is that people do that. If you're not feeling it in the right place, think of leading with your heel. I have to think of leading with my heel to get this one right. This is quite good for getting those muscles that make your balance bad working. So I like to have a little bit of routine. Bang, balance, balance, pause. Rock, rock, pause. If you've got that, add a little bit of arm movement. Challenge your coordination. If you haven't got it, just hold the ball in your hands and concentrate. And make sure you start to feel it in those muscles. If your balance is really good, then you probably won't feel it, but I found almost all my class participants feel this when they're doing the workout. So arm movements are optional. You can keep it low and keep those shoulders relaxed, or you can take it a little bit higher. Really your choice. This is more about the coordination and a little bit of challenging our brains as well as our bodies. I do like to do a bit of both. Okay, last one. We're going to come to a mini squat now, a half squat. For this one, I'm going to turn sideways, but I want you to start with your legs a bit wider than hip width, so this time shoulder width. So think of ankles under the shoulders, and you're going to step your right foot forward. So nice bit of width. I'm going to turn so you can see me, but stay facing me. Now, the weight is totally on the back leg, so we're working the right. That's your left glute, it's my right. And it's like a single leg squat, so I've got my foot in front of me and my toe down. And what I want you to do is think of sitting back in a chair. So the ball is out in front for balance. Think of sitting back. You might need to turn the foot out slightly this time, so it's fine to turn the toe out. You're going to feel this exactly where you felt it in the last one. So we're challenging that same muscle. Now, I'd like you to look down. Can you see your toes of the back foot? If you can't, you're possibly doing this. Are you feeling it in your bum? Yeah? So it's a little bit further round. It's not so much on the outside. It should be the whole of the bottom, the whole of the glute muscle. I like to float my arms forward as I do this. You don't have to. Be really aware to not arch the back. My back tends to go that way quite a bit naturally, so I have to be really aware of that. As long as you're feeling it here, that is right. You will feel it in your thigh a bit, but if you're mainly feeling it in your thigh, you're probably coming too far forward. Absolutely fine to have the front foot down altogether if you need it for balance, but the weight is in the back foot, in the back heel. If you're moving the ball, it is just as a counterbalance. Couple more. Ooh, well done. And shake that out. Okay, so exactly the same thing. This time you're going to take the opposite leg back, the leg you're going to work. So you're going to take your right leg back, so it's the right leg you're working. Again, that front foot is loose. It's almost like you're doing a single leg squat, but we're allowing ourselves some help here. Legs are wide enough to help you balance, and we're sitting back. Think of sitting back as if you're sitting into a chair. And if your movement, I'm going to turn the other way because it's a little bit easier for you to see. If your movement is that, if that's all you're doing, if your foot's flat on the floor and all you're doing is that, but you're feeling it here, that's fine too. If you can go all the way down, fine. If you need to turn your toe out slightly, back a bit, so that back foot might be slightly turned out. It's about where you're feeling it that is most important rather than what it looks like. I want you to be feeling that movement. Watch as well that you're not allowing that knee to drop inwards. Oh, that is quite intense. Sideways again, a little bit easier for you to see. Think of sitting backwards, pushing that hip back and pushing the hip back. And the body's naturally hinging forward. So I'm not leaning forward, I'm pushing my hips backwards. Oh, and give that a stretch out. Give it a shake out. I'm going to finish off today with a moving calf stretch. So again, you're going to have the feet around shoulder width apart. I'm going to ask you to let's take the right leg back. Now this time, I want you to keep that heel, the foot, think of turning the foot in slightly, so the foot should be parallel rather than out. I'm going to turn sideways, front knee is bent. I'm looking for a straight line as I stretch through that calf. Now, I'm just going to lift up onto the ball of the foot and push the heel down. As you push that heel down, have a look back, check that it's not sliding in. You should be feeling that movement in your calf. Now, if you wish, you can add an arm float. Very gentle. You don't have to. You can just put the hand on the ball, on the leg, if you wish. Be really aware that you're not leaning upwards. We're leaning forward, keeping that back in a neutral position. Hips are squared forward. So watch again that you're not twisting, letting that front knee drop in as you lift and lower. I'm going to ask you to push that heel down and feel that stretch. Doesn't matter if the heel doesn't quite, I'll move back so you can see me, the heel doesn't quite push down into the mat. Watch that you've got your hips forward. If you're struggling with your balance, I managed to catch the wall. Take those legs wider, so that way wide, yeah? As in, wider that way. If you're in a straight line, it's going to be a lot harder to balance. Okay, let's change sides. Taking that other leg behind. Remember, front knee's bent. We're lifting and lowering. Adding a ball float. Might just be one arm. I'll let you choose. Feel that movement in the calf. If you're struggling to balance, take the legs a little bit wider than shoulder width. Watch you're not in too much of a straight line. But we're working for a straight line though from the head through to the ankle. So we're not arching back. Spine stays in neutral. No tension in the lower back. Arm floats if you wish. Either in both arms, alternating, or stay in one arm. That is always your choice. And let's hold it. So with the hold, you can put the hands on the ball on the opposite leg, or just hold it in front of you. And I want you to make sure that you've got that heel in line so that you're not allowing the heel to drop inwards. Feeling that stretch through the lower part of that leg, the back of the calf. Turn to face you. Oh. Just putting the ball away if you were using a ball. We'll just do a couple of final stretches. Make sure you're not going to trip over your ball. I'm kicking mine out of the way. Let's take the right arm across onto the other shoulder, holding it gently, and let's circle the wrist. And the other way. And then let that hand slide over the shoulder and just push into the back of the arm, feeling stretch in the shoulder. Thinking about your posture. Let's come back to the other side. So hand comes across, gently holding as we circle the wrist in one way and then the other. And then let that hand slide over the top and just push gently into the arm. So you feel the stretch. Push the back of the arm. And really shake it out. That's all for today in this gentle workout. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next workout. Bye for now.